Welcome to Direct U.S. Immigration's channel, where you get direct access to our most up-to-date immigration and global mobility space. I'm an immigration attorney with almost a decade's worth of experience, and today we're going to talk about the E-2 visa, which is a visa for investors and investment companies. Stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Maitreya Brown, and I am a U.S. immigration attorney based in Washington, D.C. I'm also the principal attorney at Direct U.S. Immigration, where we work with clients in all 50 states and around the world. Before we start, click on the like and subscribe button to follow our Immigration Hub to get the latest immigration information that could be vital to your case. And also, be sure to stick around until the end to get a bonus tip on getting an E-2 visa renewal. As you know, the E-2 visa, or the Treaty Investor Visa, is a non-immigrant visa for investors and investment companies from a treaty country. This visa allows investors to live and work in the United States to develop their businesses. To be eligible, you must intend to invest substantial funds in a bona fide U.S. business. In this case, a bona fide business refers to a real, active, commercial, or entrepreneurial undertaking that produces services or goods for profit. So executive, managerial, and employees with specialized knowledge that are essential to the operation of your business are allowed on this visa, provided that they are in the same nationality as the treaty investor. Those who receive E-2 investor visas can only work within their approved enterprise. If you have significant financial assets that you wish to invest in a U.S. business, this may be the best option for you to enter the country. So, what is a treaty country? So, those who are looking to apply for an E-2 visa must be from one of the many treaty countries with which the United States maintains a treaty of commerce and navigation or any other qualifying international agreement. To be eligible for the E-2 Treaty Investor Visa, visa applicants must meet the following requirements. So if you are an individual investor, you must be a national from a treaty country. You have either invested or are currently investing substantial capital in a bona fide enterprise in the United States. You are looking to enter the United States to develop and direct your investment enterprise. You must demonstrate that you intend to enter the United States solely to develop and direct the investment enterprise. And this can be established by showing at least 50% ownership of the enterprise or possession of operational control through a managerial position or another corporate device. What is the definition of investment? So the primary requirement for the E-2 visa is to invest a substantial amount of money in a U.S. business. This business must be an actual operating enterprise, neither a speculative nor an idle investment such as an investment in stock, uncommitted funds in a bank account, or similar security qualify as an investment. To legally qualify as an investment, your funds must not have been generated through illegal means. You must have complete control of the funds and understand that they are at risk commercially. So what is the definition of substantial? So a substantial amount of capital means that it is substantial in relation to the total cost of either purchasing an established enterprise or establishing a new one. Sufficient to ensure that the treaty investor's financial commitment to the successful operation of the enterprise, and of a magnitude to support the likelihood that the treaty investor will successfully develop and direct the enterprise. The lower the cost of the enterprise, the higher proportionally the investment must be to be considered substantial. So for example, if you're looking to buy a company that is selling for $100,000, then it's best that you pay the entire amount up front, whether it's through cash, a loan from a bank, a grant, or by any other means, of course, legal means and not illegal means. Now, if the company is worth several $1 million or even larger, then you only have to put a substantial amount of money towards it, which is likely going to be a percentage rather than the entire amount. The evidence of the money going into the business bank account must show that the enterprise is real, active, and operating, which produces services or goods for profit. Now, how do you apply for an E-2 visa? So if you are applying at a U.S. embassy or consulate, the first step of your E-2 visa application is to submit a DS-160 form, which is your non-immigrant visa form. If you are traveling with your employees or colleagues, each applicant needs to file a separate DS-160F. Overall, the E-2 visa application steps are as follows. File the DS-160 form, pay the application fee, prepare a portfolio of evidence that supports your visa application, and schedule and attend the visa interview. Now, the DS-160 is an online form that will ask you questions regarding your background and purpose for entering the United States. After you have completed this form, you will be shown a confirmation page and number at the end. You must print out this page and save it for later use, and it will need to be submitted in your portfolio of evidence. Now, it should be noted that each U.S. embassy or consulate may have additional application requirements. For example, in some cases, you may be asked to fill out the non-immigrant treaty trader, which is also known as the treaty investor application. Now, in the alternative, if you are applying while in the United States, you must file Form I-129 with all applicable addendums, fees, and evidence for the E-2 visa. In both instances, you will be required to provide evidence of your intent to return to your country of origin at the end of the authorized stay. Now, what is the difference between an E-1 and an E-2 visa? So, the E-1 and E-2 are intended to welcome foreign traders or investors in the U.S. However, only nationals from some distinct eligible countries can benefit from these visa types. So the E-1 visa is open to substantial traders who can offer benefits to both their local and U.S. organizations. On the other hand, the E-2 applicants must have access to a committed and irrevocable amount of money. This substantial amount of money must cover any potential trade transactions and any business-related risk. What is the processing time for an E-2 visa? So the average USCIS E-2 visa processing time is several months. And if you are looking for a speedier method, you can pay for premium processing, which will allow for you to receive your response or decision within 15 calendar days. To apply for premium processing, you must submit Form I-907 and pay an additional application fee of $2,500. Now, some wonder how eligible treaty investors and their employees are generally allowed an initial stay of 2 years, though there are exceptions. And before your visa expires, you could submit your request for an extension of stay. As a general rule, you and your employees can stay in the U.S. as long as you intend to return to your home country when your immigration status expires or is terminated. Now, if you wish to travel abroad while holding an E-2 visa, you may do so, as long as you have a valid visa stamp to re-enter. Now, as promised, here's some bonus information that you may not know about. Now, let's talk about how you can get an E-2 visa renewal. An E-2 visa holder is initially admitted in the country for up to 2 years. Since each of the E-2 treaty countries has different agreements with the United States, visa validity may vary. Now, your visa can be extended indefinitely if your business's rationale is still relevant. Every E-2 visa renewal generally grants 2 more years in the U.S. It is advisable to request your visa extension before your I-94 expires. However, while you wait for your E-2 visa renewal approval, you may be granted an additional amount of stay in the U.S. Now, last but not least, be sure to check out the caption below in this video. We've got questionnaires for different types of visas so that we can help you determine which visa is most appropriate for you. And if you're traveling soon, we also have a list of some of my travel favorites. I hope you found this video helpful. Subscribe if this information or content helps you in any way. Comment below if you want me to talk about something in specific, and share this resource widely because you never know who needs answers to these questions. Additionally, if you have any specific questions about this video as they pertain to your unique circumstances, please schedule a consultation with us, also at the link below, and I'll see you in the next video.